What's up, y'all, and welcome back to Django Uncensored. Today we'll be talking about these April 5th protests, the hands-off protests. And this is a set of protests with millions of people all across the country protesting at the state capitals and the national capital in Washington, D.C. So today we're going to be watching a video looking at why black people as a collective decided to sit this one out. This is made by Reese Walters. This is another YouTube creator that I look up to, and I've had the honor of meeting a couple times. And yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, fine. Everybody has been begging black people to support the march on April 5th. In the spirit of Chuck Schumer, we will pen a strongly worded email. Hey, shout out to all the subscribers and members here on the channel. I am Reese Waters, and this is Street Politics.
In the United States on April 5th. A million people.
Sit your black ass down. Sit your black ass down. Sit your black ass down.
April 5th is coming. And before anybody starts romanticizing protest, let me just say it plain as day. No confusion. We are not going out there. Not this time. We are not going out there. A whole lot of people are planning to hit the streets, right? I know y'all have heard the buzz. Chants, signs, cameras, emotions are going to be high. I get it. Hell, I've been out there before. But the last time we marched, what happened? They tear gassed us, shoved elders to the ground, committed vandalism, and then blamed us. They shot rubber bullets at kids, and then had the nerve to call us violent. We showed up with our voices. They showed up with riot gear. We screamed, "Don't shoot," and they loaded that clip anyway. And let's be clear, this administration, they've let us know in no uncertain terms, black people in the street equals threat. They're looking for a reason to vilify us. They're waiting for a headline to twist. They're hoping for a camera angle that's going to justify their brutality. And what do we get in return? A quote tweet, a statement, maybe a mural, but no safety, no justice, no peace. So no, we're not marching this time. We're not going to give them the photo op that they so desperately want. We're not playing into that cycle. We're not going to give them the excuse that they're so desperate for. We're protecting our people. We're staying home. We're building offline. We're organizing smarter. Because we don't need to be in the streets to prove that our rage is real. So let them march. Let them bait. Let them spin the same tired narratives. But don't let them turn your blackness into a threat on live TV. April 5th, we sit back, we step back, we stay safe, because survival is resistance too.
So wait.
Yeah, I completely agree with her and everything she said. Black people, we did our job. We voted against Trump. We voted for Kamala. 90% of us, the black people that did vote, we voted for Kamala. So we made very clear how we felt about Trump during the election. The Caucasian people and Mexican males are the ones that kind of need to coalesce and organize and figure out what they are wanting to vote for. You get what I'm saying? So we did our black job by voting. So we're looking at other ways to organize. We're looking at other ways to fight back against the media machine that MAGA has produced and everything else. So yeah, I completely agree with what she said.
Hey, I'm just supposed to sit out the game like Scottie Pippen?
It's hands off for us. That cape you wearing turned into a blanket. We playing spades, we watching TV, we having a cookout, we binge watching old Martin episodes, we doing everything but going to this damn march. Where them fans at? Find them fans April 5th. This ain't got nothing to do with us. We did not put that man in office, so this is day 5. Y'all remember when you was younger and your bike got stolen and your mother told you don't come in this house till you go get your bike back? It's their turn to go get the bike back. You can even look at the flyer and tell this ain't got nothing to do with us. Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, public lands, fair elections, NATO, veteran affairs, cancer research, schools, libraries, free speech, LGBTQ, immigrants, judges, clean energy, our bodies, our jobs, personal data, everything but black rights, everything but discrimination, everything but redlining. You sit your ass down. Do not go out there and let them pepper spray you and be.
Yeah, I actually saw that flyer and it was missing a lot. it was missing everything from affirmative action to DEI and any of that. Real DEI. I'm talking about DEI that includes black people and not specifically veterans and white women. You get what I'm saying? Like, we need some type of legislation that focuses specifically on black and descendants of slaves. That's what we need. You get what I'm saying? We need legislation specifically for us. And that's what's lacking in all of this activism, is that since 2020, I've seen black people fight for LGBTQ. I've seen black people fight for Asian hate. I've seen black people fight against the need for deportations and everything like that. But it seems like when it comes to our issues, there's all types of critiques and criticisms around what we say, how we do it, and everything like that. Now, I understand, yes, it's okay to be critical. I'm probably one of the most critical people online right now. But when we are constantly fighting for other people's rights, and those same people are not fighting for our rights at the same clip, there has to be an inflection point there. You get what I'm saying?
You down and pour them tanks out and gas spray you, because when black people mobilize, you a threat. When white people mobilize, it's a march. Sit your ass in the house. I don't know what is streaming on April 5th, but we need to look that up, because Dope Thief is good. The Pit is good. I know Tyler Perry got a movie every week that's probably good. It's watchable. I'm telling you right now, find something to do on April 5th. They saying TikTok going to shut down, and that's just scary, because the TikTok go dark, and it's going dark the same day this march is going down. That means they might know something we don't, and they might be ready to get lit. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Donald Trump just mentioned that TikTok is not going away. He's going to push it out for another 70 odd days for it to be sold to somebody. Yeah, so y'all ain't got to worry about TikTok. I know that's a big thing for a lot of people, but I could care less.
Black folks on social media are warning black Americans not to participate in an upcoming global protest against the Trump administration and Elon Musk. On Saturday, April 5th, thousands of people in the U.S. and around the world are preparing to protest Trump in what they're calling hands-off National Day of Action. According to Third Act, one of the organizations that helped put together this massive protest, said the event is meant to stand up against those who believe they can take whatever they want, our democracy, our future, our rights. So far, more than 600 events have been planned across all 50 states. Events have also been planned in Europe and Canada. Indivisible, another organization helping to mobilize, prompted the protests on Blue Sky, writing, Donald Trump and Elon Musk think this country belongs to them. They're taking everything they can get their hands on and daring the world to stop them. On April 5th, we're taking to the streets nationwide to fight back with a clear message, hands off. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt pushed back against the protests, saying they will never work to deter the president from further pushing his agenda. Anyone who thinks protests, lawsuits, and lawfare will deter President Trump must have been sleeping under a rock for the past several years. And on that account, let me make this the first time, I believe, that I've ever agreed with Caroline Leavitt. I don't see any way that pushback is going to deter him from doing what he feels like is.
I mean, yeah, pushback is not going to stop Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not even letting the court stop him. And that's the way our country is actually set up constitutionally. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, if he's ignoring the courts, what makes you think this protest is going to stop him from doing anything? I think the point of this protest is to make members of the House and Senate nervous, because they still have to be voted for locally. And we still have another round of elections in 1.5 years. So yeah, this protest is to bring attention or bring awareness to Congress and let them know that their constituents are not happy. I wish I lived in a more liberal area, but I don't, or I would have probably been a little bit more active in these protests in the background. Of course, I wouldn't have been pulling up to any of them, because that's not our fight. That's the fight of the people that actually feel wronged by Trump, that voted for him. But yeah, hey, I digress.
Is in his best interest, unless that pushback reaches a critical mass and it is no longer politically expedient. But what I would like for you to take from that is what she is openly admitting is they do not care about what the people think. So the people are saying, you feel like this country belongs to you and you can do whatever you want, but you need to be beholden to the people. And he is literally confirming that by virtue of Caroline Levitt. Like, she really never opens her mouth without it being a massive constitutional problem. How about this one?
So are you saying that it is okay to ignore a judge's ruling if you don't like it?
Who does that judge work for?
That's another one of my favorites, but I'm not here to talk about that.
Oh my
as far as
yeah, to use the excuse that the judges of our country work for Donald Trump, so he should just ignore judges, is, yeah, he might as well be a dictator at this point.
As to why people decided they wanted to sit out. A major driver behind the stay-home movement was genuine concern for safety. Many pointed out the potential for things to escalate, possibly leading to situations involving martial law. This fear wasn't unfounded, especially considering past political rhetoric. Concerns were amplified by memories of Trump's previous comments regarding the use of military force against protesters described in certain terms. Furthermore, there was a pervasive worry that the black participants could be disproportionately targeted by law enforcement or counter-protesters, a recurring pattern in American history.
Yo, what's up, y'all? So check it out. We are not protesting April 5th. Every black person, keep your behind at home. They're trying to do a mass protest, and I'm not the only one that's feeling like that this is a setup, and this could lead to martial law that they're trying to basically make happen. It's a setup, y'all. Listen, let these white people and let these MAGA people fight themselves, all right? We ain't helping nobody out. Y'all ended up voting for this fool, and guess what? Now we're in this predicament, but they're trying to do a 2 million plus man protest march on April 5th. Nope, we're not doing it. So share this with everybody and let them know to stay at home April 5th. All right, eat you some popcorn, watch a movie, go and hang out with your friends or whatever, but we ain't protesting. We ain't doing it. Nope, this is not our fight. And guess what? They should have listened, but they didn't. So now they're going to have to suffer. Stay at home.
And to be honest, before the election happened, I had actually run into like a bunch of white people in different groups and stuff like that. They're liberal leaning, but they chose not to vote for Kamala because they felt like Kamala wasn't hard enough on Israel or helping Palestine out enough, or any of that. So these small little minute disagreements with a political candidate caused them not to vote for said candidate and help Trump get into office. And these are the people that are on the far left, the people that are watching Hassan Piker and people like him are out here pretty much disregarding candidates like Kamala Harris because of Palestine, but allowing Trump to get in office because of the same thing. And he's going to be even harder on Palestine. He's already shown he's going to be a lot harder on Palestine. So y'all help the very fringe people on the left, the liberal socialists and all. Yes, I am within those bubbles. And those people, a lot of them, decided not to vote for Kamala because of Palestine. Now we're in this situation, and I guarantee you a lot of those same people are out there protesting right now because we have Trump in office because they didn't decide to vote for Kamala. But y'all do what y'all do.
Then there's this. Let's not give them what they want on April 5th. Black people do not march, stay home. They are looking for a reason to once again vilify black people, to be violent against us and invoke martial law. Stand in solidarity with those who march peacefully, denounce violence, and focus on other ways to circumvent what is going on by using the law and other protest means. Focus on bettering black communities. Most of all, pray and meditate that day. Give it to God and let God, who's above all, handle it. Peace. They do love to vilify a march when it involves black people. You know, actually, your march should actually go down a lot better without black people. Now that they mention it.
What's good, y'all? So I want to address something really quickly because one, this is very important, and two, I'm starting to see my people get a little shaky, and I think that what's going on in the world is currently testing everyone's resolve because we're not used to sitting back, but pay attention to this. So I want to address something really quickly because one, this is very important, and two, I'm starting to see my people get a little shaky, and I think that what's going on in the world is currently testing everyone's resolve because we're not used to sitting back, but pay attention to this. So over the past few days, days, I've been seeing a lot of us asking each other, like, are we really going to sit this out? Are we really not going to protest? We're not going to help? You have to answer that question for yourself, but I do want to make you mindful of something. So this is the first time in recent history that Black people as a collective have decided to sit out the fight. This is the first time that we've said we weren't going to protest, we weren't going to join in. And there's still protests taking part all over the country. Have you guys noticed that there's a very big difference in the way these protests are being conducted? I haven't seen anybody laying out bricks or tools that could be used to deface or destruct property. I haven't seen police gas bombing anybody. I haven't seen anybody being put into vans and disappeared and getting arrested for no reason. None of that has been taking place. And it's funny that this isn't taking place because this is the first time that we haven't been out there. So
Yeah, she's right. I mean, she's right. The response to these protests today are completely different from what we saw in the protests that happened in Washington, D.C., where Trump used military force to clear out a whole crowd of Black people with tear gas just so he could pose in front of a church with a Bible. The response is completely different. I don't even... Has Trump even tweeted about this yet?
So you need to think about that. These are the communities that are trying to gaslight you into helping and trying to make it seem as if it's all going to be us. We already know that. It's always been us. It's always been that way. But they're doing that because they are afraid to throw the first stone, which we've, a few people have said. But they want us to do it. And they want us to do it knowing what our fate will be if we do. And that's the part I want to focus in on. Everybody understands that when we're on the front lines, that's when violence ensues. We have the right to protest just like anybody else. We have the right to peacefully protest, which is what we do. But do you see the stigma that was attached to the Black Lives Matters protest? People were saying that they were violent and people were attacking cops and defacing property. We weren't doing that. They were doing that. All of that was a setup. So now they're sitting around waiting for us to kickstart this thing so that they can start doing the same things to us again, even though they know that we said we weren't putting ourselves on the front lines like that. They still want you to. Now, if you feel like you need to go out there, you feel led to do that, that's on you. I can't tell you what to do or what not to do. I can only speak for myself. I can always speak and advocate from my phone. But like I said, my attention is going toward my people. It's going toward myself, my personal life, and fixing what I can fix and controlling what I can control. But I'm not willing to be so self-sacrificing that I put myself out there when the contrast is so stark. I can see exactly what the differences are between what's taking place now and what's taking place in the past. And I'm not going to be put out there. I'm just not going to do it. Guys, really pay attention to that. These protests are so different. These are the most peaceful protests that I've seen as far as the way that the police and everybody else interacts. Like, we've always been peaceful in our protests.
And the way the media covers. Like, you have to bring that in too. The media is covering this in a completely different way than they did the BLM protests. They're not, I don't think there is any mention of a riot yet, even from Fox News.
But the way that they're handling these people, nobody's getting treated the way that we normally get treated. But what do you think is going to happen if we put ourselves out there? Pay attention to that, because people are trying to make it seem like it's all about the Latino people getting deported and all that stuff. No, first off, more than just their community is going to be deported. They aren't the only immigrants in the country, but also they already know what happens when Black people are on the front lines, and they really don't care about asking you to do that. Everybody's asking you to sacrifice yourself for them when they wouldn't do the same for you, and they showed us that over and over again. Now, I'm not trying to make us see people as less than human or tell us that we shouldn't care or shouldn't have empathy. We should. But y'all, we cannot keep interrupting people's lessons, okay? Our lesson is to learn to take care of ourselves. We've never done that. Their lesson is to learn how to do the same and how to stand up for humanity as a whole. You can't sit around talking about being human and united and solidarity if you don't exercise that every single day of your life. This is your time to shine. This is your time to get out there on the front lines. And while you're making demands of Black people, make demands of everybody else. We're the only community being punched down on for not wanting to participate when other communities don't participate at all and don't even talk about the stuff. Why do we always get the backlash? Think about that, y'all. They want us to sacrifice ourselves, and I personally am not going to do it. Like, I understand that it's hard for a lot of us because we have so much empathy, but y'all, please, have that empathy toward us. Put us first this time, please.
And that was one of the other consistent messages that I've heard is the utilization of our own empathy, the utilization of our own strength against us, and how time and time again that has not benefited us specifically.
This message is for Black people and Black people only. We are in a time right now where a lot of people want to take advantage of our emotional and resilience capital that has been built up on the backs of us over the hundreds of years that we have been in this country, because they are in a position where they are finding out that the choices that they made, while informed, were poor choices. And I want to stress with us how important it is for us to practice self-care. And one of the tenets with self-care is prioritizing yourself. We are compassionate as a people by nature. We want everyone to be okay by nature. But unfortunately, we're in a season where we don't have the luxury of worrying about others because of what is on ground for us. And so I would encourage us to be really careful of falling into the trap that is happening right now, where we're being gaslit to believe that we have not supported other communities and we have not been there for other communities, and they have been there for us. And I don't want
Our support was voting. I mean, I'm tired of people saying that, oh, y'all don't support us like the way. No, our support was voting in an educated manner. Like, I don't care that you feel like, oh, you showed up to a Black Lives Matter protest once or twice or something like that. But how did you vote? Did you vote, period? And did you vote for a candidate that actually had a chance of beating Donald Trump? Because the number one issue of this election was making sure Donald Trump did get back in that office and do the things that he's actually doing. There's no excuse. Black people showed up. We showed up. Like, we voted 90 in the 90th percentile for Kamala Harris. We are the only demographic that did that. Everybody else, y'all have at it. That's all I'm saying. I completely agree with everybody saying in this video. There's no excuse for there's no reason black people should be participating in these protests.
I want to go down the laundry list of opportunities that they could have been there to stand with us and to fight with us when it was our community that was under attack, which is consistently the theme in this country. But what they're not going to do now is come in because they are suffering and don't know how to handle this the way we do. Because again, we've been here before. We know how this is. This isn't new to us. We just continue to grow and to thrive in spite of what they throw our way. We're not responsible. This is a time for us to band together to build something infrastructurally that will last beyond this point so that we no longer have to be dependent on others for our communal well-being. So I just want to stress that to you all. It's going to probably get worse before it gets better. But for us to survive this next 4 years, and I roll my eyes at that because it's just hard to believe that it hasn't even been 2 months yet. But to survive this next 4 years, we are going to have to prioritize ourselves as a community and make sure that we take care of ourselves. That's all I got.
And while we're on the topic of taking care of ourselves, there's this little fact that was pointed out. April 5th, Million Man March and protest. Dear black people, stay your black ass home. They've been doing the most to get black people mad and come out. Some are just looking for a reason to come after us. We're not going to play their game. We're minding our own. Stay home. So if you wanted to make the case that it was somehow a setup for black people, you would have to point to a litany of things that they have done specifically to inflame the black community. You know, like the DEI purges, or how about floating out a pardon for Chauvin in the George Floyd case, or how about trying to cancel Black History Month and then begrudgingly letting it go forward? How about freezing the civil rights cases, the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice? How about coming after the blacks in? Or how about coming after Jackie Robinson? How about that? You would have to look at the litany of things that they have done specifically to inflame black people. And that's just on a national scale.
Well, that's where I kind of disagree. They didn't just do this specifically to inflame black people. They did this because they want to change how black people are seen in the general populace. You get what I'm saying? All these programs that they're removing, they knew that this was having an effect on the population of America. These areas in the Smithsonian, the coverage of Jackie Robinson in our history, the DEI programs that covered our black women pilots or our Tuskegee pilots, things like that help black people get seen in a better light. And they removed that. Removing that stuff did They did want to inflame us. I'm not going to completely disagree with that point. But they also want to remove us from the general population when it comes to positive images. So it kind of served a dual purpose.
Well, that's beside all of the local stuff, you know, like the Yahtzees on the bridge in a black community in Lincoln Heights, Ohio. You know, stuff like that's happening locally, but we're talking about like the national stuff right there. So the idea that they wouldn't be specifically targeting us becomes much more difficult to make. And once we're past that, you tell me how exactly they are prepared to receive you should you hit the streets, because I kind of have had this conversation before about how they're willing to react had we hit the streets earlier. Anybody got any other ideas? And just to add a little cherry on top for the inflaming of black people, why is White Lives Matter trending right now? Just out of nowhere. Just literally while I'm recording this, I see that White Lives Matter is trending. Yeah. Anybody got any other ideas? Okay, fine. Everybody has been begging black people to support the march on April 5th. In the spirit of Chuck Schumer, we will pen a strongly worded email.
That's a good one.
I don't know exactly what my favorite part. No, it's in the spirit of Chuck Schumer. And in the spirit of Chuck Schumer is exactly right. I can work on a draft. Be sure to mention your disappointment and grave concern. I'll be honest, I'm kind of surprised nobody mentioned thoughts and prayers, but naturally, when we mentioned writing a strongly worded email, that brought a whole host of other people to comment on the issue.
I have a message out there for all you black people. I need you to stay away. No, seriously, on April 5th, do not go to D.C. It is a trap. Let us handle it. We fucked up here. Black women especially, y'all came out and showed out for Kamala Harris. Black men, y'all need to come to Jesus meeting, but please still don't go to the Capitol on April 5th.
If I remember right from the statistics, I think black men still voted for Kamala Harris in the 80 percentile range, somewhere in there. So a good bit of black men that voted for Kamala.
Rocking with you till you decided to talk about black men. Look at the white men escaping scot-free in that one. Really? Hey, you better come get her. Come get her. You got her.
Just a reminder to my fellow white people, you are not an ally if black men and black women are telling you that they are not going to protest on April 5th because it will put their lives in harm's way, and you throw a tantrum. Saying, oh, we all have to work together. Shouldn't we all come together, we the people? Don't you care about the future, about the children, about the time to come together was at the election. We failed them. So now, their rest is their resistance, and they are staying home and staying safe as they should, because their lives are too precious to put on the line. And what would cost me and people who look like me getting yelled at or at the worst tear gassed, which isn't likely, would cost them their physical lives. And they've already been giving those lives for centuries in this country for all the rights that we enjoy. So it is our turn to step up and to speak up. And honestly, if you're telling them that they should go to that protest, you're an op and not an ally.
Now, naturally, everybody isn't going to agree.
You've been fighting for our rights since the 1960s, you say. So then what's the issue? Keep going. Why are you in my comment section not only trying to get some sort of praise or reward for you having done the heavy lifting since the 1960s, but you're also wasting your time and energy getting upset because black women and black men are saying that y'all got this, we're taking our much-deserved rest. That's weird. As someone who fought for my rights through the 1960s, you should very well know that black folk have been fighting for our rights since 1619. Yeah, I don't think that's comparable. I think it's weird that y'all are so up in arms about the fact that black women and black men are saying that we're taking time to ourselves to focus on self-care, to not put our bodies on the line, and the fact that you are demanding physical labor from black people is wild, and it's very white of you. And as somebody who fought for my rights in the 1960s, you should know that in 2025, you do not call a black woman girl. I'm not your girl. I am a 34-year-old grown-ass woman. And this is exactly why we are sitting out, why we are leaving the heavy lifting to you all, why we are leaving the danger to you all. Because you continuously disrespect us. Although it has been us, black folk, who have led every march, every protest, every movement, for you to even have the rights that you have as a white woman. You wouldn't have that without us. And yet somehow you still continue to disrespect us. You still continue to minimize us. You still continue to demand labor from us as if you have any control over our bodily autonomy like you always have thought you do.
Yeah, this is completely ridiculous that some white people are still out here trying to convince us to show up to these protests as if we're not being we're not exhibiting enough unity within the American zeitgeist, that we're not exhibiting enough empathy towards other races and things like that, when we actually showed up. We actually did what we were supposed to do, and we've been doing what we were supposed to do. It's the white people, it's the moderates, it's the people on the extreme left that refuses to vote for a candidate because of one small issue. It's all these things coalescing, so y'all go handle that, y'all go handle this protest, y'all go show Trump how y'all feel, because y'all white faces are what he really cares about. He doesn't care about our black faces. When he sees a black face, he sees a criminal. So show him y'all white faces, make him concerned, make his Congress concerned, because Republicans have control of Congress and they care about y'all white faces too, and make them scared. But black folks are sitting this one out, so y'all good with this. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. I know it's not all the way through, but it's a 30-odd minute video and I'm only 20 minutes in. I'm probably gonna link Reese's Walters video down at the bottom of the video so y'all can watch the whole thing. And yeah, I'm just saying, like, some white people are complaining that black people are showing up. Some white people understand why we're not showing up. All I'm saying is we're not showing up for a reason, and we're making that very clear. So y'all have fun with that. I'm going to post about y'all still. I have a couple posts scheduled for y'all. I'm gonna put that out there still from home. Y'all have fun with that.